Yes, my name is Kymone Freeman. I'm an artist and I'm a writer, and I'm the co-founder of We Act Radio, independent radio station here in Anacostia. And I'm also a lifelong user of marijuana. And so this is a great day in the morning for me to have an opportunity to speak to this issue, because it has not, my use of marijuana has not led me to harder drugs. In fact, weed itself is not a drug. If no one walks out of this room knowing anything they have learned today, is that weed is not a drug. It is a herb. Drugs are manufactured and man-made. Weed is natural, as the brother so biblically pointed out to us earlier, which therefore would make God the biggest drug dealer on the planet, if that's still the case. With that said, my lifelong use of marijuana has not led to crime, has not led to delinquency, any other stereotypes. I'm a functional member of society. I have not, in fact, I don't even have a record, because thank goodness up until this point, the few instances that I have been caught with small possession of marijuana has been non-papered. But that, unfortunately, has not been the case for many of our young people here today. The D.C. police chief says that this department has not prioritized marijuana arrests, but with over 91% of those arrests being black people, they have prioritized the incarceration of black people. This is a war on drugs, and this is the first chip away at their war on drugs, and I want to make that clear. The last time I was arrested for marijuana possession, the white officer from Pennsylvania who was arresting me actually told me that weed kills brain cells. I mean, this is the type of misinformation out here. And I said, well, tell that to Bob Marley. Tell that to Willie Nelson, you know. And I said, would you arrest Willie Nelson? He said, yeah. And I would ask for his autograph. That's the type of misinformation that has out here, and I want to make that connection. Because if DC leads the nation in marijuana possession arrests per capita, it's the most. How can the police chief say this has not been prioritized? But we leading the entire country. I don't see how those two opposing factions could be both true. But unfortunately, the city and this country and Western society in general has not had a good track record of doing what's best for people. So let's talk numbers. The district in 2010 spent upwards of $43 million on police enforcement, judicial, legal fees, and incarcerating individuals convicted of marijuana-related laws. Most of them are nonviolent crimes, nonviolent offenders. That is the vast majority of our prison industrial complex, which is the largest prison system in the world. This is a war on drugs, and then we're talking about we don't want to give our approval of the use of marijuana, but then we turn a blind eye to every concert backstage what's going on, to every dorm room what's going on. Most of us in this room have tried marijuana. From my teenage years, most people in this country has. And I think that this is the first step to coming clean, and let's wrestle with reality and deal with the truth. The truth of the matter is this has been a business that's been used to incarcerate people of color. And I want to make sure that everyone knows this is just the first chip away at the war on drugs. Because in our society, actually the war on drugs was created by Ronald Reagan, as was mentioned earlier in the press conference out front. He's also responsible for the Iran-Contra scandal, where this CIA was publicly confirmed to be involved with cocaine dealing. We have just here recently HBCU Bank, who was too big to jail, who was publicly convicted of drug laundering for billions of dollars in drug laundering. But yet we still criminalizing small possessions of marijuana, incarcerating people of color, as if this is somehow a public safety policy. So again, we're wrestling with reality. I want to thank the council for having the audacity to do something bold and adventurous, like tell the truth about the problems that's facing our community. I would like to see this bill go a step further. Again, as we mentioned earlier, the expungement and the sealing of the prior records, so they'd be retroactive. I'd like to see the citation removed as no paper, because it could then we have the disproportionate amount of poverty in this city. So people facing that financial burden of that would still be a criminalization as well. So this is what I came here to do, to put a different face on it, because many of us whisper in the dark. I smoke weed. I never tried any other drugs. I never committed any other crime, and I'm a functional member of society, just like Willie Nelson and Bob Marley and so many other great people who are also users of marijuana. And that's my time and statement.